John the Baptist was cast into prison by Herod Antipas. Matthew records, "When John had heard in the prison the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples and said unto him, Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another?" The phrases I've highlighted in yellow are significant because earlier John had said, "He that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear." The phrases about he that cometh suggest a connection between these 2 passages. It's as though John the Baptist is sending his disciples to Jesus to say, "Are you the person that I was talking about back in Matthew chapter 3? Why would John send disciples to Jesus to ask if Jesus was the Messiah? As we saw previously, John the Baptist already knew the Savior's identity. There are at least 2 ways we could look at this. We could say John the Baptist had a strong testimony of Christ, and so he sent those disciples to Jesus, hoping they would start associating with the Savior rather than with John the Baptist. That's one possibility. Here's another. Perhaps John the Baptist is languishing in prison, and he's starting to lose hope. Maybe he's even doubting a little bit, saying something like, "Jesus, are you really the Christ? Because I thought you were coming to build a new kingdom, and I'm here a political prisoner." When John the Baptist's disciples asked Jesus, "Are you the one who's coming?" Jesus answered and said to them, "Go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see." Note that Jesus tells them to go back to John. This suggests that the disciples weren't just coming to associate with Jesus. They really did have a question from John the Baptist, and Jesus is sending them back to John with an answer. Jesus says, "Show John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them." Many of the things in that list are fulfillments of prophecy from Isaiah. In essence, these deeds could be a way that Jesus responds to John the Baptist by saying, "I am the Messiah." Some people might be offended by this second possibility. They could say, "How is it that John the Baptist could lose hope? He was amazing and had a testimony of Jesus." But who else had a powerful witness of Jesus Christ and still struggled with moments of discouragement and cried out to God for confirmation? One example might be Joseph Smith in Liberty Jail. I think it's powerful to consider the possibility that John the Baptist was struggling a little bit, because then there's room for you and me if we struggle. You and I have had powerful experiences with Christ, but maybe we're going to encounter some difficult times and need extra reassurance. I love that right after the disciples of John the Baptist leave to give John the Savior's message, Jesus turns to the crowd and says, "Among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist." If John the Baptist is doubting, that doesn't scratch him off the list of Jesus's all-time favorites. The Savior still says John the Baptist is great. That's an important message. Even if we're struggling, we can still be great in the eyes of Jesus, and he's still reaching out to us. He doesn't want us to be offended by him, but he still has words of kindness as well.
To see more videos like this one, simply search Seeking Jesus.